Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive edition of our late-night entertainment roundup, where we dive headfirst into the drama that's got the internet buzzing like a hive of angry bees on a sugar rush. Tonight, we're unpacking the jaw-dropping moment that unfolded on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, when country music legend Reba McEntire, the fiery redhead who's been belting out hits since before most of us could tie our shoes, absolutely stormed off the set after what can only be described as a viral clash for the ages. Picture this. The studio lights gleaming like stars in a Nashville sky, the audience clapping with that polite enthusiasm reserved for icons, and Jimmy Fallon, our boyish host with the perpetual grin, ready to charm his way through another celebrity interview. Reba glides in, all sequins and southern charm, her latest album fresh off the presses and her role on that hit sitcom Happy's Place making waves. She's there to promote, to laugh, to share those heartwarming stories that make us love her even more. But oh, how the night took a turn faster than a twister in Oklahoma, her home state. It started innocently enough, as these things often do. A lighthearted chat about her career, her TikTok resurgence with "I'm a Survivor," racking up millions of views from Gen Z kids lip-syncing in their bedrooms. Jimmy, ever the comedian, cracks a joke about how Reba's timeless tunes are bridging generations, quipping something about how even his toddler nephew is humming along to her classics. The crowd chuckles. Reba flashes that megawatt smile, and for a moment, it feels like the perfect blend of nostalgia and new energy. But then, as the conversation dips into her personal life, things heat up. Reba opens up about her late mother, Jacqueline, who battled cancer with the same grit Reba sings about, and how those final days were a mix of heartache and hilarity. As the dust settles on that fateful night in Rockefeller Center, let's zoom out to the broader canvas of Reba McEntire's indomitable spirit, a force that's weathered more scandals and spotlights than a prairie fence in a dust storm. Born in 1955 in McAlester, Oklahoma, Reba Nell McEntire grew up roping cattle and harmonizing with siblings in a family band that dreamed big under those wide-open skies. By her teens, she was winning talent shows, her voice a clarion call that caught the ear of country radio giants. Mercury Records signed her in 1975, and though early albums were polite sellers, it was 1984's My Kind of Country that catapulted her to superstardom, with hits like How Blue and Somebody Should Leave cementing her as the genre's leading lady. But Reba's no stranger to heartbreak, losing bandmates in a 1991 plane crash, navigating a public divorce from manager-husband Charlie Battles in 1987, and later, a second split from actor Rex Linn amid pandemic chaos. Through it all, her music evolved, from sassy anthems to soul-bearing ballads, earning her 3 Grammys, countless ACM awards, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Acting beckoned in the 90s with a self-titled sitcom that ran for 6 seasons, making her a household name beyond the honky-tonks. Fast forward to 2024, and Reba's busier than a one-armed paper hanger, coaching on The Voice, starring in Happy's Place, a bar-set comedy that's already greenlit for Season 2, and dropping Not That Fancy, an album blending duets with Brooks and Dunn to fresh takes on her classics. Her social media savvy? Off the charts. That viral "I'm a Survivor" clip? It's not just views. It's a movement, with fans from Tulsa to Tokyo stitching their own resilience stories to her tune. Reba's brand is authenticity wrapped in rhinestones. She's the grandma who'll hug you tight, then kick your butt if you need it. The digital deluge hit like a flash flood after Reba's exit, with X, formerly Twitter, collapsing under the weight of hashtags and hot takes, turning a 10-minute segment into a 24/7 global conversation. Within the first hour, hashtag RebaStormsOff garners 500,000 mentions, clips racking up 10 million views on TikTok alone, edited with dramatic slow-mo of her stride synced to "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia." Fans, those loyal foot soldiers of country fandom, mobilized like it's a battle for the Alamo. Reba didn't storm off. She sashayed away from foolishness. Hashtag Queen Reba tweets at CowgirlHeartOK, her post like 20K times. Memes proliferate. Reba's face superimposed on Thanos snapping away Jimmy's jokes, or her walking off edited into famous movie exits, from Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman to Pam Grier in Foxy Brown. The discourse deepens quickly. Women's groups praise her boundary setting, calling it a masterclass in self-respect, while comedy purists decry the woke police ruining fun. Jimmy's defenders, a vocal minority, argue context. It's Fallon. Everything's a bit. Reba knows the game. But the tide turns when female comics like Amy Schumer weigh in. Jimmy's sweet, but that landed like a dad joke at a funeral. Props to Reba for the mic drop. Reba's silence at first amplifies the chaos. Her official account posts only a photo of her with her dogs, captioned "Home on the Range," which fans interpret as shade. By noon, TMZ drops exclusive footage of Reba in the green room, laughing with her team. Not angry, but empowered, fueling speculation of staged beef. Late-night rivals pounce. Stephen Colbert monologues on the gummy that bit back, while Seth Meyers' writers craft a segment on when hosts forget the guest is the boss. On Reddit, our /entertainment threads explode with 15K upvotes on Reba versus Jimmy. Who won? Polls, 78% siding with the country icon. In the weeks following the infamous walk-off, the entertainment industry felt the aftershocks, with Reba McEntire's bold move sending ripples through casting rooms, board meetings, and writers' bullpens across LA and Nashville. First, the numbers. The Tonight Show's ratings for that episode spiked 40%, drawing 5.2 million viewers, the highest in months. Proving controversy is late night's secret sauce. But for Jimmy, it's a double-edged sword. His Q-score dips 12 points in fan polls. Sponsors like Delta Airlines pausing ads amid boycott calls from Reba's Heartland base. NBC brass convene emergency sessions, tasking PR with Fallon fix-it strategies, including diversity training on humor sensitivity. Jimmy, humbled, overhauls his prep process, consulting female writers more closely, resulting in softer segments that critics note as safer but sweeter. Reba, conversely, rides the wave like a pro surfer on a tsunami. Her album Not That Fancy debuts at #1 on Billboard Country, propelled by playlist ads from Spotify's Boss Women curation. Happy's Place secures a Netflix streaming deal, with Reba's character arc tweaked to include a Boundaries episode inspired by the event. Subtly, of course. Auditions flood her agency. She inks a voice role in an animated western, voicing a sassy sheriff who walks out on bad deals. Philanthropy booms too. Her cancer fundraise from the story nets $5 million, funding a new wing at Oklahoma City Hospital named McEntire Resilience Center. Media bookings triple. She graces Vogue's cover with a feature titled The Queen Who Wouldn't Bow, penned by a female journalist who hails her as country's unapologetic feminist. Talk of a biopic intensifies, with Reese Witherspoon attached to produce, eyeing the gummy tail as a pivotal scene. Reba's personal life gets a glow-up too. Rumors swirl of reconciliation with ex-Rex Lynn, spotted arm-in-arm at a gala, their laughter defying tabloid gloom. Imagining the inner circle's reactions paints a vivid portrait of loyalty and surprise, starting with Reba's inner sanctum, her sister Susie, manager and co-star on Happy's Place, who was watching from home, phone in hand ready to rally. "Sis, you handled that like a pro rodeo rider." Dusted off and kept galloping. Susie texts immediately, followed by a group chat explosion with siblings Pippi and Roger, sharing gifs of Reba's glory days bucking broncos. Pippi, the middle sister with a voice like velvet thunder, calls, "Honey, Jimmy poked the bear, and you roared. Proud don't cover it." Roger's more pragmatic. "Ratings gold. Reb, use it for the foundation." Reba's kids, son Shelby from her first marriage, now a horse trainer with his own family, check in via FaceTime, little grandson wide-eyed. "Nana, did you fire the funny man?" Reba chuckles, "Nah, sugar, just took my bow early." Her current flame, Rex Lynn, still coupled despite rumors, sends flowers with a note. "Babe, you're the fancy one. Always were." From the country corner, Dolly Parton, godmother to Reba's career, DMs a voice note in that Tennessee twang. "Darlin', I would have thrown my wig, but you, class act. Call me. We'll write a song 'bout gummy gumption." Garth Brooks, old tourmate, posts publicly, "Reba's the definition of survivor. Jimmy, tip your hat." Even skeptics like Toby Keith's estate repost in tribute, bridging divides. On Jimmy's side, It's a mix of bro hugs and tough love. Questlove, the Roots drummer and show's heartbeat, pulls him aside post-tape. Man, that landed rough. Reba's sacred ground. Jimmy nods. Yeah, I fumbled the heart part. House bandmate Black Thought texts. Apologize big, bro. Music heals. Jimmy's wife, Nancy, the grounding force, advises over dinner. Listen more, joke less sometimes.